Hey guys, I wanted to address a really, really common feeling that we all have on this true love journey. At one point or another, we all think we're crazy. We're just like, am I delusional? Am I really seeing this? Is this really what I think it is? Is this person really saying this to me, or am I just reading into it? So I have a lot of you that come to me and you're just like, you tell me your stories, and even I am like, this is crazy. Are you kidding me? Like all this telepathic communication, feeling the other person, all the signs and synchronicities, even the pings, especially the pings. Man, I got some great ping stories. Oh my gosh, you guys. I mean, I could write a book just on how crazy the pings are. And so, yeah, a lot of you question your sanity. You question whether you're delusional. And yeah, you probably are. And I only say that just because you got to get that over with. You got to admit that, a lot of it is in your imagination, number one, because you always have to admit your greatest fear. You just got to say, hey, that's a possibility. Maybe it is all just in my head. Maybe it's not actually going to happen. Maybe it's, if you got to be willing to go there. Whatever your fear is in anything in life, you have to be willing to go there and admit that that could be an actual possibility. That could be a timeline that you go to or whatnot. However, when I read into these things with my intuition, when I look into these things with my cards, they confirm everything is true. As crazy as they seem, the cards seem to always tell the truth. Now, and I've said this before, but I mean, I have had the masculines with me right in front of their feminines. Like they've both been sitting with me in a session or on Zoom or on a call or whatever. And there's certain couples that come to me like every once in a while, like every 6 months or so, just to kind of check in with me. And these are very brave couples, because they ask, I mean, it's a really good way to check in, really. But they come in and they have me do their each other's cards on each other as if they're not there. Isn't that incredible? I mean, talk about a reality check. Okay, here's what he's going through and what he's feeling, what he's thinking about you, and then we switch it and then do the same thing. It brings a lot of things to light. It brings a lot of discussions to the table. It really, brings out some things that maybe the other person didn't feel quite comfortable enough to share. It's awesome. It is really an awesome way to go. But I'm just saying, you're not delusional. And delusional, I mean, to me, delusional is just like you're imagining something and it's just not real. It's just not true, and it's just not real. Now, I also say that you're probably delusional too, because whatever you're imagining is true may not even actually be the reality of what is. It's like anything that we translate in our lives, we translate through our own lens. So even if we see the exact same thing, we see a man walking by in blue jeans and a t-shirt, you may tell yourself what that means is, somebody's enjoying their day and they're about to go to the store or something like that, just something really no big deal. But somebody else might see the exact same blue jeans and shirt guy and say something like, oh my gosh, that must be a sign that my brother Max is coming into town because he always looks like that or whatever. Somebody else might look at that same exact t-shirt and jeans will go by and be like, oh my gosh, that looks like so-and-so. Then they'll, yell their name or something like that. So everybody's going to have a different reaction to every single thing. And they're all going to think something different of those things. And yes, a lot of pings can feel like super direct, but maybe if they've sent you a song in the 3D or in the 5D or whatever it is, I mean, songs are very common. It could be that they just mean the title of the song, or it could mean that there are actual lyrics in there that they want you to hear. Or it could be just the tune and how the tune makes you feel. So you're probably delusional. Just admit it. You're probably delusional just because you don't actually know what they're saying to you. And even if the person is sitting right in front of you and they tell you, I want you to be safe, or I am this, or I am that, you still will translate it the way that you see it through your own lens. You will still, like, oh, he wants me to be safe. Okay. And you're thinking, so he wants to be right beside me. You know, he wants to like physically protect me, like be right beside me, when actually he meant, I'm going to give you a safe place to stay over there away from me. You know, it's like, there's so many misunderstandings and misinterpretations, and or it's just, you guys aren't, no two people will ever think the exact same thing about everything that they see, say, and do. It's just impossible. You will get your divine partner more than you get anybody else. You guys will understand each other like incredibly. It'll be amazing. And yes, a lot of these things that you see or hear or whatever it is are true, in the sense that they make your heart swoon, and that's exactly what they meant to do. Does it necessarily mean that they're going to be with you? No. I've seen them really, they can switch on you. They can switch on you. And I've just seen, you know, even many of you who are watching this, have even had your masculine say that they love you, or say that they, want to have a family with you, and that you're really the one that they'll even admit about their karmic and all that stuff. And then they'll be like, my heart's really with you, and I want to be with you. And they'll still go back to the karmic, or still choose another person, or whatever. None of it is certain. So the most important thing to remember on this crazy frickin' journey, man, on no matter how, until you guys are married, until there's a serious commitment there, you got to take it all with a grain of salt, and you can't read too much into it. And you can definitely follow the prompts if you want to. You can ping back, you can do whatever. But the most important thing is, and here's the other kind of extreme they're saying. Some of you actually, you have to keep yourself mentally in check through this journey, period. You have to look out for your own emotional and mental health. Because the other thing that can happen is you keep poo-pooing it. You keep saying, oh, I'm just seeing things. Oh, no, that can't be. No, that didn't play out like I thought it did. It must have been something else. That wasn't personal to me, or that, no, and you'll doubt it, and you'll do all that stuff just to try to I don't want to go there, because I don't want to believe, and then I don't want to have them do something that will shatter my heart into a million pieces. So I'm not going to, I'll entertain it. I'll kind of look over there for a second, but I'm not going to put my full heart into it, because I don't know what it's going to do. I don't know for sure what it's going to do. And unless I know for sure what it's going to do, then I'm just going to protect my heart a little bit and kind of be skeptical of it, or kind of poo-poo it, right? But for you guys, it might also be just as much of a possibility that they could actually show up at your door and ask you to marry them. And imagine how shocked you will be if you aren't prepared for that. It's as much as it is a happy thing, as much as it is a very exciting thing, it could also cause a huge whirlwind in your life, a very positive whirlwind that you're going to be very, very excited about. You guys even deciding to just run away and elope together, and you pack up all your stuff and get out of there. It's still going to be very stressful, because you're going to find yourself in a new world, surrounded by new people, surrounded by new friends, new atmosphere, new everything, potentially. So what I advise is to take all of it with a grain of salt, but at the same time also entertain that it could be very well true, either end of the spectrum, and then just prepare yourself with tools to deal and cope with the stress of it, the positive stress of it. I talk to some feminines who, when they finally start getting this attention from their masculines, which a lot of you are right now, it's shocking, and it's validating, and it feels like this huge rush. It's like an adrenaline rush. It's just, oh my gosh, it's like that song about love being your drug. It is like that. You're just, oh my gosh. If you believe it, and when you believe it for a moment, oh my gosh, it's true. So what does that mean? That means that all this other stuff might be true. And then you start really kind of, and then you kind of short circuit, and it's like this stressful thing where don't do anything more for like a couple days. Just give me a couple days to sit on this for a minute, you know? So, and he may not, or he or she may not. They might just keep, they might just keep pinging you, giving you goodness. And that's good too, but you just have to, you guys just better be prepared either way that this goes. And just be prepared if they take off in another direction you were totally not anticipating, and be ready for them to show up at the door. Know how to take care of yourself emotionally. Know the tools to use. Thank you, God, for my misery is one of the best gifts I could possibly give you guys. Thank you, God, that he's doing this. Thank you, God, that he didn't do that. Thank you, God, that this terrible thing is happening so that you can accept it and you can, I just went through a huge upheaval yesterday. Oh, my Lord. I plummeted to the depths, man. I was like, oh my gosh. I was so upset and had so much anxiety. I was like, I was like, I don't, it's like I knew all the tools and everything, but I was like for a moment there, it was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do right now. And it was like, I was telling like the friends that I was confiding in, I said, I know that at the end of this situation, I know that I'm going to come out of it with an awesome lesson. And I know in hindsight, my guides will have given me a wonderful lesson to share with you guys, because it's always that way for me, always. And you got to believe that. But when you're in it and you can't be still for a moment because your pipe is clogged because the anxiety is so high, you've got to just trust that you'll know in hindsight all that went on. And always remember too that you can remember, like just like put a Post-it note on your mirror or something and be like, is this someone else's energy? Always ask that, because we think that we're totally crazy sometimes feeling something, and then we go, oh God, this is somebody else's energy. And when you can do that, you shift right out of it because you're helping someone out. You're like, oh, okay, all right, that's not my energy. And it helps you shift out of it. And the key is to shift out of it. You don't want to stay in that anxiety state. Whatever it takes. I don't care if you're delusional and you think unicorns are running around in circles around your place, or fairies are dancing everywhere, or that somebody, I don't care what the delusion is. If it really is like seemingly a delusion, it doesn't matter as long as it's positive and it makes you feel okay. If it's positive and you're like excited to go out to your car because you think your car is going to go float to work or something. I don't know, many of us think many, many different things, but whatever it is, everything is a placebo. So if you believe in it, and if it is positive, and if it makes you feel good, believe it. Okay. But when you're in that state of anxiety or you're really kind of crashing, then thank you, God, for my misery. You just got to remember that exercise and write it down. Thank you, God, that I'm going through this tremendous anxiety, that I'm going through this situation that's unbelievable. And then you just start writing down all the benefits and advantages as to why it's a good thing. It will keep you sane. It will help you to clear the way. And once you can take a breath and you can kind of like see that there is good in it, see that there is a divine reason that it's happening, and you can see it from a much clearer, calmer perspective, then you can make solid decisions. Then you can make, you're much clearer thinking. So that's why I give you guys these tools, is to actually use them when it matters. And I was able to turn the situation completely around. The situation is still not resolved, but it will be. I know that it will be. It'll be fine. And I don't know, some kind of like energetic shift may have happened yesterday. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that stuff. But I was also considering it could have been a solar flare or something that really made the situation seem like a million times worse than it was. Because I'm usually pretty chill about the situation. It's been going on for weeks. And so I've been like, okay. But for some reason, I was panicking about it yesterday. And then it was funny because I watched my daily guidance because all these people were commenting, and I was like, I got to check out this daily guidance, right? So I go and look at it. I'm like, holy crap. I really do have to watch my readings. I really do have to watch, because it said that you're going to go through, it said the Divine Feminines were going to go through some kind of like a stressful situation. And that was totally me. So I was like, damn it, I wish I would have watched that in the first thing in the morning, because I would have like seen it coming and I would have handled it better. But yeah, I handled it fine. I handled it totally fine. But yeah, thank God for friends sometimes, yes. I have some beautiful people that I confide in sometimes that are just, on the up and up, and they're just like, good thing we're not all down at the same time, It's like they can just pick you right up, and then the next day they need it, So it's really nice how that works. So anyway, keep in mind that everything's a placebo. Be prepared for every possibility. The worst case scenario happening and the best case scenario happening, so that you will not lose your shit. Just consider it all as a possibility. There are many different timelines. They do switch on you sometimes. Sometimes, they'll have some kind of an epiphany, and they were like immature 1 minute, the next minute, boom, they're like your king. And it's shocking. It's like, holy cow. Or, there's just so many different like curveballs that can be thrown at you along this journey. So this channel and I am here to help you anchor and ground into anything being possible. Go ahead. It's not, go ahead and allow yourself to visualize that everything works out, and it's so beautiful. And he's sending you all these incredible messages that are just, take it in. That's great energy to take in. It's wonderful to feel optimistic. It's wonderful to dream. It's wonderful to say, I think the best thing you could say to yourself is, I know everything's working out so beautifully and perfectly for me. Because it will. And even if your masculine ends up throwing some kind of crazy curveball, you're still going to say the same thing. Everything's working out so beautifully and incredibly for me. If he took off and went another route, then I'm excited, because something else that must mean that, okay, good, narrow down my options, or open up my options, really, because that door closes, a new one opens. And if it's something else, it must be something better, right? So try to have an attitude that supports you any way that this goes, instead of like holding out for some kind of future that you feel is going to be the answer to your prayers, that's going to be the thing that makes you feel okay as a person. Be okay being totally anchored in the present moment, and needing nothing to happen in the future, needing him not to show up or not to do anything for you to feel okay. That's how you don't get codependent as well, is being able to be happy despite any circumstances. Or we're not always going to be happy all the time. Like I said yesterday, I lost it, but I know my tools. I know how to gain it back very quickly. So that's the key. You're going to fall on your face sometimes, but just get back up as quickly as you can, whatever you got to do. Even keep a notepad of what to do in case of an emergency, what to do if I'm really stressed out. Take these natural products, consider that it could be me feeling somebody else's energy, validate my feelings, meditate, go within, do Qigong or something to try to get the energy flushing out the negativity out of your system. Whatever works for you, whatever helps you, go for a run or whatever. Make a list of things to do, because when you're in that mode and you're freaking out and you're stressed to the max, it could be a combination of what's happening in your love life or not happening in your love life, or something you see on the news, or something you see on Facebook, or something like public, or whatever's going on in the world on top of it. We have a lot of stress in our world right now, guys. So your stress level's already up here, where it's normally down here. It's already up here. And then you add good stress to it or bad stress to it from your counterpart, and you're going to lose your stuff. So just realize that there's a high level of sensitivity pretty much for the rest of the year. Where Mars is like the energy of war. And I believe it's going on through the rest of the year. If anyone wants to correct me, put it down in the comments. Whoever's into the planetary stuff, feel free to describe what's going on down in the comments in terms of that stuff. But I just know that the rest of the year is going to be pretty damn wonky. And so you better hold on. You better hold on to that roller coaster bar. I think some really awesome changes are going to be happening, but also some things that could really kind of freak you out. And I just picked this up as a confirmation of yes. but we will have victory also is what that says. We will have victory. You will be successful and happy and be put up on a pedestal and adored and admired. You'll have plenty of abundance. You know, you're going to come out of this shining like the star you are. So just believe in that. Just believe in that. And oh my gosh, look at you guys. These cards just happened to be sitting next to me. I was just playing with them just to play. But yeah, this is somebody coming, rushing forward to speak their truth to you, usually in love in our situation. And then this is believing you have a bright future and healing yourself. Do both. Be healing yourself as much as possible right now. You do have a bright future to look forward to. So, oh my gosh. Love will find a way. Love will find a way. So just believe in love. Love is going to come rushing at you. Be open to who that comes through also, guys. Some of you are just like dead set on one person. And I love that, and that's very romantic. But for me, when they make a commitment to me, when they are in my face and they're like, will you marry me? That's when I am all about that person, and that I will not even contemplate. And I am the most loyal person on the planet. But I've had so many, true love counterparts not pull through for me to the point that I'm just like, if it happens, it happens. But I get put through this for you guys to help you guys have the right attitude as well. They put me through all the wonderful, all of the stuff that all of you go through. They put me through it first so that I can support you guys adequately and help you guys out of the same stuff that I've been through. Lucky us leaders, right? So keep your options open and just be ready. Just be ready to go in any direction. Be like really self-aware. Do your healing on anything that triggers you. Love unconditionally. Love that person that you love. Talk to them in the 5D. Ping them. Do whatever. But just be ready for anything to be possible and be ready to support yourself either way that it goes. Okay. Have a beautiful day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
If you like my videos, please like, subscribe, and share them with your friends. Also, feel free to join me at patreon.com/Amy Satori, where I post monthly energy readings, pick a decks, and other goodies for members only, including discounts for readings and being entered to win a free reading at the end of the year. Memberships start as low as $5.55 a month. Sometimes I even put my free collective love readings on Patreon first before uploading them here to YouTube. If you're wanting more information about my show on TuneIn Radio, how to order a personal reading, or other goings-on, you can check the description of my videos for the most up-to-date information.